We're recording, Sam.
Oh, we are?
Yes, I started it.
Oh,
Just
okay.
so we're ahead of the game. Just so we're ahead of the game.
Oh, okay. We'll start at 11:01. We are at 11:01. Great. Welcome to Nilrc 101. If you're expecting a Nilrc 202, you clearly stumbled upon the wrong class, but fear not, because you're in for a treat. My name's Sam Suber. I'm your Nilrc chair. Over here, we've got Amy Pence, our chair-elect, ready to take the reins. And let's not forget Lois Bruno, director of this whole Nilrc thing. And we have Kaitlyn Weger, our resident information literacy guru. And we're all excited to have you here. Let me change slides. So, welcome back. Now that we have established who we are and why we're here, let's dive deeper into the purpose of this presentation. Today, we'll be providing a comprehensive overview of Nilrc, exploring our consortium of community college libraries, our mission, our vision, and kind of understanding how Nilrc fits into the broader academic landscape. So, Nilrc as a consortium of community college libraries. Nilrc, or Network of Illinois Learning Resources in Community Colleges, is a cooperative that supports community college learning resource centers. Founded in 1974, has grown to over 42 member colleges, making it one of the oldest and most influential library consortia in the United States. As a consortium, we collaborate to share resources, expertise, best practices, and we provide a wider range of services and resources to students, faculty, and staff than any individual library could offer on its own. As for the mission, our mission at Nilrc is to connect, advance, and advocate for libraries and learning resources in community colleges. We strive to create a welcoming and inclusive environment where everyone feels empowered to explore knowledge and ideas. Through our shared resources, services, and programs, we aim to foster a love of learning and equip our community with the skills necessary to succeed in the digital age. As for a vision, while we don't have a formal vision statement at this time, we're actively working to develop one. To develop one to have a shared vision to guide our future direction. Our goal is to create a vision that reflects our commitment to providing essential resources and support for all aspects of community college education. We envision a future where Nilrc is a catalyst for innovation, equity, lifelong learning, and empowering our community. Nilrc in the broader context. Well, we want to think that Nilrc is not just a collection of libraries, it's a powerful force of collaboration and innovation within the community college library sector. We work together to address the unique needs of our students and faculty, providing essential resources, support for their academic and professional goals. As we explore the Nilrc's resources and services, you'll discover how our consortium connects to your academic journey and contributes to the broader intellectual landscape of our region. So now that we explored the purpose and vision of Nilrc, let's dive deeper into what makes us unique as a consortium of community college libraries. A consortium is a cooperative arrangement where multiple organizations collaborate to achieve a common goal. In the case of Nilrc, our consortium provides a framework for community college libraries to share resources, expertise, and best practices. Nilrc's purpose. The primary purpose of Nilrc is to enhance the educational experience for students, faculty, and staff at our member colleges. By working together, we can offer a wider range of services and resources that any individual library could provide on its own. This includes like a vast digital collections, databases, professional development, professional development opportunities for library staff. Nilrc also plays a crucial role in supporting the academic mission of our member colleges. We provide essential resources and services that help students succeed in their studies, with faculty with their research, and staff that meets the needs of our diverse community. For example, we may offer online tutoring services. You may have heard of BrainFuse, workshops on information literacy, and access to specialized research databases. Nilrc, for like membership demographics, Nilrc is a consortium of 42 community college libraries from Illinois and Missouri. This diverse membership allows us to share insights and practices from like different regions and contexts, strengthening our knowledge and our expertise. By understanding the demographics of our membership, we can better tailor our services and resources to meet the unique needs of each individual college. This ensures that Nilrc remains a valuable asset to all of our members. For example, we may prioritize providing resources for students studying STEM fields in colleges, and maybe like in regions where there's a large manufacturing base. Or we may offer like language resources to support students from diverse backgrounds. So now that we explored the purpose and membership of Nilrc, let's discuss the structure and governance that underpin our consortium. Nilrc is governed by a board of directors, which is responsible for overseeing the consortium's operations and strategic direction. The Nilrc board is composed of representatives from our member libraries. These representatives are typically library directors or senior administrators, but clearly not, because I'm neither of those. So it's really open to any member and staff in a community college library. The board is mainly responsible for like setting policies, approving budgets, and making decisions that affect the consortium as a whole. Some key board positions. So we have the chair, that's me right now. The chair of the board provides leadership and guidance to the consortium. We have the chair-elect. The chair-elect serves as the incoming chair and is involved in planning and preparing for this role. The past chair offers valuables and insights and kind of provides like continuity to the board over years. The recorder takes down minutes at the board meeting. The treasurer manages the consortium's finances and ensures that our resources are used effectively. And members at large, we have 4 members at large that are elected to the board to represent diverse perspectives and interests within our consortium. We also have the Nilrc director. So the Nilrc director reports to the board, but is supervised by the chair and chair-elect. Director is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the consortium, including like managing vendor negotiations, overseeing projects, and coordinating with member libraries. In addition, we have committees and task forces. Nilrc has several committees and task forces that focus on like specific areas and interests. These committees and task forces play a vital role in shaping how our initiatives and ensuring that we meet the needs and services that meet needs for our members. Just want to make note that task forces are temporary to perform a specific initiative, while committees are a permanent part of Nilrc. Some examples of committees and task forces include the subcommittee on finance. So this committee oversees the consortium's finances and budget. It's comprised of members of the Nilrc board. We have the Information Literacy Committee. This committee promotes like information literacy skills among our members. We have the Conference Committee. they plan the annual Nilrc conference at Allerton. We have the Overdrive Committee. This committee oversees the consortium's use of the Overdrive platform. We have the Website and Communications Committee. This committee manages the consortium's website and communication channels. We have the Professional Development Committee. So they create like professional development opportunities. And we have 2 task forces this year. So we have one, the Strategic Planning Task Force. So they're developing the strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years. Depends on who's running it. And we have the Policies and Procedures Manual Update Task Force, and they update the consortium's policies and procedures manual. But in general, by working together, our board and committees ensure that Nilrc remains dynamic and effective, and make sure that we have all these benefits for our members working in all these kinds of different directions. So now that we explored the structure and governance of Nilrc, let's talk more about the core functions and services. As a consortium, Nilrc plays a vital role in supporting our member libraries and advancing the field of community college librarianship. So these are some of our core functions. So one of them is collaboration. So Nilrc fosters collaboration among our member libraries, encouraging the sharing of ideas, resources, and best practices. This collaboration helps us to address common challenges, identify opportunities for innovation, and leverage collective expertise. For example, we may organize joint projects and share staff expertise, or maybe collaborate on grant proposals. We coordinate the efforts of our member libraries to ensure that our services are aligned. So coordination, so that could be with students, faculty, staff. This coordination helps us, avoid like duplication of efforts and like maximize the impact of our resources. In addition, make sure that our services are consistent across the consortium. Another big thing that we're doing is that we are really involved in advocacy. So Nilrc advocates for the interests of community college libraries at the state, regional, and national levels. We work to ensure that our libraries have the resources, funding, and support they need to thrive. This may include like advocating for increased funding for libraries, promoting the value of library services, or advocating for policies that support our mission. So it encompasses a large amount of areas. And next thing is also leadership. So Nilrc provides leadership in the field of community college librarianship. We set standards, we set best practices, promote professional development opportunities for our members. By providing leadership, we help to shape the future of community college libraries and ensure that they remain relevant and essential to the academic mission of our institutions. As for services, a big thing that we do is resource sharing. So we facilitate the sharing of resources among our member libraries. This can include like access to digital collections, specialized databases, and other materials. By sharing resources, we can provide our members with a wider range of materials and services that they couldn't just offer by themselves on their own. We also are really big into cooperative purchasing. We negotiate group purchasing agreements to help our members obtain the resources they need at competitive prices. This can save our members time, money, ensure they have access to high quality materials. And another big thing, a service that we include is professional development. So we offer a wide range of professional development opportunities for our members. These include like workshops, conferences, webinars. This helps our members stay up to date with the latest trends, best practices, develop new skills, and hopefully advance their careers too. So. all the above. So now that we explored Nilrc's core functions and services, let's discuss the impact we've had on our member libraries and our goals for the future. So, impact. So, access, right? So, Nilrc has expanded access to resources and services for our members and their constituents by, I guess, like sharing resources and collaborating on projects. We've been able to provide a wider range of materials and programs than any individual library could do on its own. Cost effectiveness, right? So cooperative purchasing initiatives have helped our members save money on resources, allowing them to allocate more funds to other priorities. Uh, Library staff skills, so professional development programs helped, enhance skills or the knowledge base of our library staff. This has led to improved services and a more engaged and effective workforce. So, I also want to mention strengthen library technology. So, I would argue that Nilrc has played a key role in supporting the adoption of new technologies of our member libraries. Maybe like specialized databases, New York Times, for example. This has helped us improve access to information and enhance the user experience. And again, awareness and advocacy. So we've raised awareness of community college libraries and we have advocated for their continued support. This has helped us to ensure that our libraries have the resources and funding that they need to thrive. And for goals, so thinking long term, one of our goals is definitely to expand our resource sharing initiatives to include more materials and services. This will help ensure our members have access to the resources that they need to succeed. We want to negotiate even better discounts, so negotiate group discount purchasing agreements to obtain even better discounts for our members. This will help reduce costs for our members and, increase the value of our services. We want to have an increase, a wider range of professional development opportunities. We want to have a wider range of professional development opportunities to meet the diverse needs for our members. And so that staff are equipped with the skills and knowledge that they need to excel in their roles. And lastly, again, advocate for increased funding. We will continue to advocate for increased funding for our community college libraries. This will make sure that our libraries have the resources they need to provide services to help their students, faculty, and staff. So that's what I have. So to provide you with even more insight to Nilrc, I'd like to introduce you to Lois Bruno, the driving force behind our consortium.
Thank you, Sam. As Sam mentioned, my name is Lois Bruno, and my complete title here at Nilrc is Director of Member Relations and Consortium Business Manager. So we just keep it short and call me the director. I came to Nilrc a little over 4 years ago. It was the summer of 2020, and things were very shut down, but thankfully, this has always been a remote job, so there was no effort involved in adapting to that type of a job situation. I have a background in nonprofit management, and I do have a bachelor's degree in communication with an emphasis in public speaking and interpersonal communication. But fun fact, I am a graduate of Harper College, and I have a son who attended Harper and graduated this last May from College of DuPage. So I feel like this gives me a unique perspective. I have definitely an appreciation, a deep appreciation for the value of a community college education. And I also understand the unique demographics of those who attend community colleges, along with now having worked with Nilrc librarians for over 4 years, I have a much better understanding of the challenges that you face and the uniqueness of each member institution. And while we all have different roles and we have different perspectives, different situations that we work in, we do have a shared goal, and that is the success of the students who are benefiting from the efforts that each one of you put into your jobs at your individual schools. So as part of my job, I am the sole employee of Nilrc. So essentially anything that needs to be done, I get to do it. But most of it is about working with member institutions and developing and cultivating relationships with each one of you that I had the pleasure of working with through this job. I also work with our vendors, again, establishing relationships with existing and new vendors and working towards negotiating and brokering resources on your behalf as a group. So that would be involving those discounts. I also manage all the financial aspects of the organization. While that is sending invoices to you and receiving payments, it is also ordering the resources through the vendor and paying the vendor for those things that we do broker. And I work alongside the treasurer of Nilrc so that we can ensure that the financial records are accurate and complete. And I work with an outside accountant for the tax purposes involved in running a nonprofit. And I have a bookkeeper who helps with some of the more in-depth transactional details that we have in our QuickBooks software. I also work with communication efforts, sending things out to you on the listserv, helping to update the website, and doing what I can to provide the information that is necessary in keeping all those important pieces of information out to you, making sure that we have accurate information going out to you and consistent communication about upcoming events and opportunities. And then lastly, I support the board and the committees with whatever it is that they need. Most frequently, it's the financial reports that I produce on a monthly basis and share with the treasurer and the board. And just ongoing communication with the board about the different aspects of my role and any challenges or opportunities that we have to improve our services to you. So that's pretty much what I do. I do host those monthly meetups as you've heard about. We started those about 3 years ago, and it's an opportunity for everybody to just kind of have casual conversations surrounding a specific topic and co-hosted by one of the board members. And I consider that one of my main accomplishments because it's just another way to connect everybody that is at Nilrc. All of our member libraries and the staff within those libraries so that you all feel supported and have opportunities to network. And so I think that's like the main goal of Nilrc here is to keep everybody connected and supported. So I appreciate the time that you have spent listening to me. And now I will hand it off to Amy.
Okay, hi everybody. I am going to be speaking about the products and services that we have at Nilrc. We've already been through quite a few of them, so this will be a bit of a brief review, and then I'll be talking more about our cooperative purchasing. So the products and services that Nilrc offers, we do vendor brokering and cooperative purchasing for e-resources. We also do webinars, whether that's the professional development webinars, information literacy, and the weekly meetups. We also have one big conference and then a business meeting that has a bit of conference added in. So 2 things every year. And we also have committees that have been mentioned that you can join and work on that are good and affect what we do as a community college. Next slide, please. So cooperative purchasing and vendor brokering. So one large thing that Nilrc does is vendor brokering for digital resources. And we have over 270 databases from 35 vendors that we have contracts with. And until I was preparing for this presentation, I didn't realize how many databases Nilrc had relationships with, or how many vendors. So that was really interesting. We will broker for resources upon request. So this really means there's no request that's too small. Lois, our director, will broker resources just for one school. And many of our contracts started with an ask from a single institution, or there was a small group who wanted to use something. And that's something really unique to Nilrc as a consortium, is that you don't need to have a larger group that wants a resource, that we will go for one resource, one vendor, one database for an individual school. I'll get into a few more examples about this later on. But examples of some of the resources that we do have. This is not an exhaustive list by any means. We have library software, such as stuff that we have from SpringShare. So your LibCal, your LibGuides, that kind of thing. We also have resources for tutoring, as Sam mentioned a little bit earlier. We have BrainFuse, which is a kind of 24/7 online tutoring. We have ebooks, which we have more conventional ones, but we also have the Libby Overdrive. We do streaming media, like we have relationships with Canopy and Swank. And then we have more of your kind of traditional databases and vendors through ProQuest, EBSCO, Infobase, Oxford University Press, etc. So I'm going to talk kind of a little bit more about the benefits of being part of Nilrc. So if we go to the next slide. So for e-resources and brokering, you'll get a lower price on these databases than you may if you are going to be going just through direct to the vendor. Additionally to the lower pricing, we usually have a locked in percentage increase every year. So unlike when you broker for yourself, you can know exactly what to expect year to year for the percentage of increase for the resource. You don't have to contact the broker, the vendor yourself, which, I mean, having to work with multiple vendors, I do that for my job already, and it's really nice to have Nilrc kind of at your back to do that for you. Instead of having to send out multiple checks to multiple vendors and make sure that everyone's getting the checks, that you're paying everybody, you get to send one check to Nilrc instead, and they pay the vendors out. There's also our consortial buying power, which is really important when we're talking about e-resources. It gives us power in creating contracts, helping to set some of these lower prices, and kind of getting more than you could potentially do on your own. So additionally, benefits of membership. We have access to professional development through webinars and conferences. I believe Kaitlyn will talk about this a little bit more later. And we also have listserv access. So you can reach out to other community college libraries or community colleges in general with questions that are really specific and tailored to this environment. Next slide, please. So I just want to go over some anecdotes and success stories, especially when it has to do with these e-resources. So for the beginning, for the e-resources, it's interesting. I want to talk a bit about lower pricing. I know that there are a few different consortiums that you can belong to, and I found through Nilrc for a variety of our databases, I actually get a better deal than either going through brokering with other agencies or brokering myself. I usually can get a really good deal through Nilrc. And also we have these consortial purchases. So we have the Libby Overdrive collection, and because there's a bunch of Nilrc institutions who use that service, there's so much more content than one school could afford to buy on its own. Additionally, we have the magazine subscription, and I know personally, I think we probably pay, I don't know, like $5,000 less than we were previously by having that brokered for the Nilrc consortium instead of going in the individual route. When we're talking about brokering with vendors, we have the contracts with the vendors. We have contracts with vendors that some other consortiums don't have. So I believe InfoBase for this year, we're the only consortium, I would say, in Illinois at the time that has this resource. And we also have a really good report vendors. Lois is very diligent in keeping up relationships with them and making sure and working hard on our behalf to get us really good deals and really goodwill from the vendors and their contacts. And again, we're willing to work with one school for cooperative purchasing. I have a couple of stories for this, and Sam could always talk more, but I know that we just recently got the New York Times digital access, and that was brokered for just one school. But I'm looking in that right now. We're going through a different consortium, and if I can go through Nilrc, I think that would be great. One less renewal to worry about. Also, I know Lois, for us personally, has gone to talk to Britannica and Statista just about seeing if we can get, any of their resources and get their databases. And that has been really great. It didn't have to have, 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or 12 institutions that will want something before we try to actually work with the vendor to get it. So yeah, and I know professional development, I feel like I'm always hearing from some of my staff on campus here about how valuable they find some of the professional development or a webinar things that we have here. It's also Allerton is one of my favorite conferences to go to every year. So it's always very enjoyable, and I learned so much through the presentations, but also just through communicating with everyone else who's kind of in the same boat, being from a community college, and that's really the value. So right now I want to open it up for a couple of minutes. Does anybody have any success stories or any anecdotes that you would want to share with the class? Yeah, feel free to hop onto the mics if you want to.
I can start. Yeah, so it was a few years ago, we were looking for New York Times access, like a digital subscription, so that all students and faculty could use. And when we approached a vendor, the price was kind of outrageous. So we looked to see if Nilrc had some kind of like a negotiation going on already. And yeah, they had say about like $1,000 discount from what they were proposing to charge us if we went direct. So yeah, going through Nilrc saved us a lot of money and a lot of frustration. So we can budget more money for other resources in the future. So
Anybody else? And I mean, if not, we can just continue straight on. Okay, I'm gonna head it over to Kaitlyn, and she will take over the next portion of this. One more slide. Sorry about that. Access and utilization of Nilrc products and services is probably the most important, since you'll actually know how to get things. So for cooperative purchasing and e-resource brokering, reach out to the Nilrc director direct. So reach out to Lois and she can help you with that. Additionally, you can view our current vendor relationships and resources on the Nilrc website. This is not an exhaustive list. We will be sending out a list of all of our current vendors and e-resources to the listserv after this presentation, along with these slides and a feedback form. Additionally, you can sign up for the Nilrc listserv. You can do that by going to the website. I have a link for it in the slides as well. And you can also view the committees and reach out to volunteer either to the committee chair directly, or there is a form on the Nilrc website. Now I'll hand it over to Kaitlyn.
Thanks, Amy. I'll be wrapping things up by talking about future plans and goals for Nilrc and then ways to get involved. So the theme for fiscal year 2025 is communication, engagement, and growth strategy. The governing body at Nilrc is looking ahead to the future of the organization and developing goals. Some of the board priorities include developing the strategic plan for the next fiscal years 26 through 29 that will outline long-term goals, identify key strategies, and establish measurable objectives. They will also be reviewing and updating the policy and procedure manual to ensure it reflects current best practices and organizational needs, hoping to enhance transparency. Some of the other components in the works at Nilrc will include regular webinars. In particular, this webinar, Nilrc 101, will hopefully be offered at least once a year and will be embedded on the Nilrc website for on-demand viewing to increase accessibility. The Nilrc website will be updated, offering information about the history of the organization, overview of services offered, and accessible meeting minutes. Communications will be streamlined with reminder emails sent from the director to members regarding upcoming board meetings and links to past minutes and agendas. An appreciation program is in the works to recognize and thank key members throughout the year for their hard work as well. Nilrc will also explore ways to better serve online learning partners, including potentially revising their mission statement to reflect a broader scope and better cater to the needs of all learners. The organization will be working to expand Nilrc's reach and influence, to recruit new members and strengthen impact. The board will be looking to expand potential investment opportunities to ensure long-term financial health of Nilrc and streamline and optimize operations. This includes trial runs of software programs for potential workflow and efficiency improvements. Next slide, please. There are multiple ways to get involved within Nilrc. There are numerous committees previously mentioned that are always looking for volunteers, and you can join as many as you want. If you're interested in joining any of the committees, just contact any of the committee chairs listed here on the slide via email. This includes the Conference Planning Committee, chaired by Kat Brody, Information Literacy Committee, Jason Ertz, Overdrive Committee, Cynthia Kramer and Brian Hines, Policy and Procedure Manual Update Task Force, Brian Clark, Professional Development Committee, Andy Kugel, Strategic Planning Task Force, Sam Suber, and Website and Communications Committee, Danielle Oakes. Next slide, please. Nilrc also offers many opportunities for professional development and networking with fellow members. There's a wide array of webinars you can attend in the fall and spring semesters on a variety of library-related topics presented by members of the committees. You can also join the listserv to receive notifications about upcoming events, webinars, ask questions, and network with the wider Nilrc community and share what's going on at your library. Just email webmaster@nilrc.org for details and to join. To see a full schedule of events, visit the Nilrc event calendar at nilrc.org/event calendar. There are also 2 major annual conferences you can attend. The annual spring conference, which also includes a delegate meeting, is usually held around the beginning of May, with the locations varying each year. The annual fall conference is typically held in late September, early October, and is usually at Allerton Park in Monticello, Illinois. In fact, the Allerton conference is next week on Thursday and Friday, the 26th and 27th. For anyone attending the conference next week, we look forward to seeing you there. If you are not attending this year, we hope you will join us next year. Next slide, please. To conclude our presentation, we wanted to highlight a couple of key takeaways. The first is to get involved within Nilrc. There are so many opportunities for anyone wanting to network, have a voice, gain leadership skills, and you can add your involvement in Nilrc to your resume. Finally, Nilrc is here to support you. This organization is entirely focused on supporting community colleges. If you have any questions, concerns, need assistance, want to broker resources for your library, anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to the directors. Next slide. Okay, we've reached the end of our Nilrc 101 presentation. Does anyone have any questions or comments they'd like to share? Please feel free to jump on your mic or drop it in the chat.
You know what? Hey, everybody. This is Andy Kogel. I am the committee chair for professional development, and I wanted to emphasize what was said on that last slide. Excuse me. I've been fighting allergies, as I'm sure many of us have. I just really wanted to express for anyone who is newer, is relatively new to the organization, or is looking for ways to encourage staff to get involved more with Nilrc. Since we joined, I joined with Kaitlyn when I was down at IECC, and I've maintained my membership since I joined Lakeland College, and it has been fantastic, very engaging. As I stepped into the leadership role for professional development committee, everyone involved was very supportive. And we have a great group of folks who are willing to teach and to help us build and help us become more involved. So there truly is a atmosphere of collegiality, of friendship, and a desire to see people build not only in their LRC or their libraries on their campuses, but professionally as well. So I deeply appreciate the connections I've built through Nilrc, and I am thrilled to be seeing so many of you next week at the conference. But that's my 2 cents there, and I always have to poke and prod. I can't not do this. I just have to say how proud of Kaitlyn I am. She joined the MLS program at U of I when I was down there, and I've been cheering her along the whole way. So it's absolutely thrilling to see her so involved in Nilrc. Okay, I'll stop embarrassing you now, Kaitlyn.
Thank you, Andy. Any other questions or comments that we can field? Thank you, Tig. I am hearing none. Oh, then that's okay. So I guess we'll wrap up for now. Hope you guys all enjoyed the presentation. Hope it was informative. head, you gain more information about Nilrc, and you'll know more about the opportunities that are available to you as part of your membership. And if you don't use your membership, I think you should make the most of what you can. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, this presentation will be recorded. We'll send out the slides. We'll send out the databases that we offer and all the information that's included. So thanks again for coming, and hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. And hopefully I'll see you at Allerton next week. So thanks again.